go to the Margaret Wheatley question. Who cares about that? Who cares about the success of our students? Who cares about how we demonstrate the success of our students? And I think if you frame it in that way, you realize it's a lot of people that really care about our students.
Right.
I mean, the students themselves, first and foremost, their families, but it's also many people in the community, not just their like immediate families, but their grandparents, their cousins, their aunts and uncles, you know, and it's higher education, it's workforce preparation, it's employers, it is, you know, city and county agencies. It ends up being everybody cares about these things.
Right.
So I think what you want to try to do is then think about, well, how do we at least make the invitation for anybody to be involved in this? So a specific one would be family involvement. So, you know, one thing you could do is go to a PTA meeting and say to the PTA, we're going to start doing some work around whole learner outcomes. Who wants to be involved in it? But that group is not representative of all the families, right? It's usually, even at a school that has high participation in the PTA, it's not universal. It's not 100%. So if that's all you do, it's a good step, but it's not going to provide the invitation to all. So you then want to think about, well, how do we reach every family, regardless of their circumstances? And, you know, we did things like we had a food truck that went out into the community, and on the food truck, we would empower the workers to ask questions about outcomes and what success means. And maybe you can show up at a meeting where we're going to talk about what success really means for our students. We would go to some of the apartment complexes that high density, you know, lots of families in them. We would send staff out to try to set up a meeting in the apartment instead of at school. We would do it on a weekend instead of an evening, because sometimes families working in service industries are working in the evenings. Sometimes they're working on a weekend too. But the point is to like vary your modes of engagement and interaction to try to make it as inclusive as possible. And it's all about making the invitation. We invite you to participate in this process. I'm a parent of 2 kids. I'm not involved in everything that they're doing, but there are some things that I'm more involved in, and I appreciate the opportunity to be invited to participate so that it then becomes my choice to either lean in or not.